Hey everyone, today we're looking at add-ons that deserve a higher rarity than they are. We're going to exclusively look at yellow and brown add-ons for this. Let's get into it. Starting out, we have maybe the clearest example of an underrated add-on, which is the Bone Clapper. This add-on for Wraith makes it so when your bell is rung, everybody on the map hears it, and it becomes non-directional, meaning survivors can't pinpoint where you're coming from, or which one of them you're even close to. It's debatably better than the silent bell, because of this pressure it creates. If you play into this ability too and hide around corners before approaching survivors, usually it's a free hit, or even a grab. This add-on is shockingly a yellow too, for an ability that really feels like it should be purple or debatably iridescent. It really is as effective, and maybe more effective, than the Silent Bell. Really great add-on for Wraith, and rarity-wise, very underrated. Never Sleep pills are kind of a funny one to me, because they're meant to be a meme add-on, yet they're debatably one of the best add-ons for Legion currently. This add-on reduces your movement speed in Frenzy down to 4.6 meters per second, which is the regular movement speed. However, it increases Frenzy duration by 10 seconds. Now, this is so strong because 10 extra seconds in Frenzy means you can safely reach almost anyone on the map. When you land a hit in Frenzy 2, you gain an additional 0.2 meters per second movement speed. So despite starting out with 4.6, as you hit more people, you can get up to 5.4 meters per second, which is the usual Frenzy speed. The thing is, you don't need the speed that badly in Frenzy, particularly if you have these extra 10 seconds. You can cover nearly the full distance of big maps with this add-on, and it makes getting 5-hit Frenzies not so hard. It's particularly effective when paired up with the Mural Sketch, this add-on giving an additional 0.3 meters per second per Frenzy hit. That's another really powerful add-on, to be honest. That feels like it's more deserving of a purple or something. Blackheart is a brown add-on, but debatably Demo's best. It's between this and Barb's Glosses. Both deserve a spot on this list really, but I thought we'd focus on one over the other, as I'd prefer to have different characters' add-ons for each spot. I personally prefer the Blackheart add-on, and think it does a little bit more to help you. It reduces successful shred attack cooldowns by 15%. It's like having 3 stacks of Save the Best for Last, but on your special attacks. So it's really nice, particularly when you pair it up with Save the Best for Last. This add-on is very simple, but being able to recover from that shred just a tiny bit faster makes your chase a lot scarier to face, and makes what can already be quite an unrelenting pursuit even more effective. Knight actually has quite a few add-ons that could debatably deserve a higher position. Map of the Realm, Dried Horsemeat, and Battle Axe Head are all a lot better, I think, than their yellow and brown tiers. However, the one I think is clearly deserving of a higher tier is the Call to Arms. This add-on both allows a 10 meter longer patrol path and increases patrol placement speed by 25%. Two really nice effects for a yellow. I would personally bump this up to a purple. These longer trails can allow you to get really sizable distances, particularly on smaller maps. Now that the trails are silent when drawn from a certain range, it makes this add-on very effective. The fact you can place them faster too makes it even more worthwhile, as you don't lose time really. This add-on is very good for holding down areas, and can feel quite unfair to face, put simply. Toy Sword is often considered the best Twins add-on, despite it being a common, and only increasing Victor's pounce charge time by 0.2 seconds. It sounds very insignificant, but it's actually good. It's also kind of a product of Twins add-ons being absolutely dreadful. Still, it's good. This add-on can be the difference between catching a survivor out on a corner or a tight loop, and it just streamlines your gameplay. One of the more annoying things is when you can't catch a survivor around a very tight area or loop. This add-on lets you just completely remove that strategy, and you're able to quickly pounce. The usual charge time is 1 second, and this knocks it down to 0.8, It really doesn't sound like much, but it truly helps a bunch. Malthinker's Skull is potentially Dredge's best add-on, and simply recharges Nightfall 66% faster, which is a lot, whenever a survivor is injured. Super easy to activate, and makes a huge difference, to be honest. This could easily be bumped to purple, or at minimum green. It works best with all survivors injured, but even one there is notable difference I find. Super nice add-on that makes getting Nightfall far easier. Nightfall of course makes getting downs a lot easier, and allows you to pressure and traverse the map very quickly. This add-on can be the difference between getting 3 Nightfall instances and 4 say, in your average match, and it can make a world of difference. Fast charge Nightfall, what is there not to love? Caged Heart Shoes and Killing Part Chords are 2 Trickster add-ons that I want to kind of pair up here, because they're both incredibly good, particularly together. They're also kind of an anomaly. I usually dunk on add-ons that have tiny percentage improvements, but in this case, the tiny amount makes a whole lot of difference. Caged Heart Shoes increases movement speed whilst throwing blades by 2.5%, and Killing Part Chords increase it by 1%. The shoes alone are good, but together they are very good. Maybe Trickster's best add-ons. Together you can get your movement speed up to 100% whilst throwing, which is the same speed the survivors move at, meaning you can keep pace whilst using your power, which is so nice. It sounds like such a minimal improvement, but seriously, try this out, it makes a world of difference. I'd honestly like if these add-ons were merged into a singular purple that gave 3.5%. That could be nice, I think. Velvet Fabric is an artist add-on that I think is very underrated. All this add-on does is give an additional 1.5 second duration of the Crow's Swarm aura when a survivor begins to repel them. This doesn't sound like much, however this additional second or so gives you a much better understanding of the survivor's positioning, and gives you a better chance at hitting a follow-up shot, which will damage them if they're still swarmed. Without the extra second or so, it can still be predicted, but this allows for a far more consistent experience when going for mid to long range shots, and allows it to be very viable. I didn't exactly have the best game when I went to get footage, but I managed to get a few nice clips, displaying just why this add-on can be so amazing. I honestly wouldn't put it up much higher, maybe just to a green, but for a yellow, you were really getting some value here. At base, the aura remains for 2.5 seconds when repelling, so this gives you 4 instead. If you fire just 1 crow at a time, this means you only need to do guesswork within an area of a second, rather than the usual 2.5 seconds. Oak Haft is a Huntress add-on that initially seems rather unassuming, making your cooldown between hatchet throws 20% faster. This allows you to throw back-to-back hatchets at a much faster rate, or chain together a hatchet hit with a basic attack. This add-on is one of her best, and just a yellow. I believe it makes your overall hatchet throw speed faster than if you were to use the babushka, with you being able to throw back-to-back hatchets within a few seconds. Not really much to say here, but this 20% cooldown does wonders, and can lead to some solid snowball moments where you can just rapidly fire the hatchets, and there's not much the survivors can do until you've run out. Marvin's Blood is an add-on for Nemesis that I thought was worth including, and it's partly because overall Nemesis add-ons are not so good. They're all pretty terrible and situational, and focus on things like the zombies, where it's just a lot of luck and coincidence you're relying on. Marvin's Blood is maybe the only consistent Nemesis add-on that you can rely on for better feeling gameplay. It simply gives you an additional 25% mutation rate when hitting survivors with your tentacle strike. Hitting survivors, of course, is the most beneficial way to progress the mutation. This allows you to level up the tentacle at a fast pace, and really does improve your overall gameplay. You want to hit tier 3 as soon as possible to get the extra length, the movement speed, and of course the ability to break pallets in tier 2. You can hit tier 2 much quicker with this, and it gives a big leg up in the early game when having to deal with more pallets. Alright, well that's gonna do it. I do hope you enjoyed. Was there an add-on you would have added to this list that I missed? Let me know down below. Thanks, and goodbye.